Hi there and welcome back to another video in the series of playing rapid chess and sharing my thoughts along. So let's start. Let's start knight f6 and let's try to play the Nimzo-Indian Defence. Yes, we can do that. We're pinning the knight and we're staying flexible with our pawns. Okay, he chooses this queen c2 line. I like to be flexible here with my pawns in the center, not commit to d5 or c5 yet. Maybe not putting any pawn to the center. White now has this main move a3. White also could have played e4, which leads to very direct lines. So after a3 we must take, otherwise we just wasted time. And if we would go back, for example, white could play e4, gaining a huge center. So we take, and they usually take with the queen. That's the idea of queen c2. And now there are a couple of options. Black could try to play like this in the center, of course preparing e5 with something like, I think, queen e7, but I will stick to the main move. I think it's the main move, d5, taking some space in the center. And now white has a couple of options. If he pins us here, we try to use the fact that he has not stabilized the d4 pawn yet, and we can play c5, and if he takes, we intend to go d4. Let's do that and see what he has in mind here. He can also take on d5. Now I think the line goes that we take on d4 first, and when the queen takes, okay, I need to think. Of course, there are two options. Either we take d5 in some way or we take d4. Basically, it's four options. Okay, let's go one by one. Really consider all the options. Even knight takes might be an option because bishop d8, knight c3. But I don't like it. Bishop d8, knight takes c3, bishop e7, and white does not only have the pair of bishops, but he will also grab the c5, I guess. I'm not a big fan of that. Taking with the pawn I don't like at all because I think it might just blunder the c5. Taking with the queen, he might damage our structure and take c5. The structure itself, it's usually not a problem, but it's too many things. So I think we need to go this. And after queen d5, I think that we do have knight c6 as an intermediate move. Let's check this. So he will take on d4, that's pretty sure. And now if I play this, he can of course not take because he's pinned on the d file. But the thing I need to watch out for is bishop takes f6. If I cannot take with the queen then, because then he trades queens, and then my knight is lost because there is no longer a pin on the d file. So if I play knight c6, bishop f6, I would need to make either knight d4 or g takes f6 work. And g takes f6 doesn't work because queen g4 check, sidestepping out of the pin on the d file, and then takes my knight. So after bishop f6 I need to take on d4, he takes my queen, but there I should be absolutely fine with the knight in the center, so he cannot do this actually and needs to do something else. Yes, I think I remember my stuff here. So now I think they can go with the queen somewhere, and then there are several ways to play. Okay, queen d2, I think I don't know this one. Let's think. So there are a couple of options. This probably is not so great because also my c6 knight is still hanging, so I think I should do something on d5. I could take with the pawn. That creates an isolated pawn against me, but at the same time he's still stuck in the center, and if he plays e3 we might open the center quickly with pawn to d4. So that's actually interesting. And I think I'll go for it because if queen takes, it might get really dry. So I'm really aiming for this isolated pawn structure here because I'm not so afraid, because I think I get my counterplay here. E3, okay. Now let's think, can we jump? He must take, otherwise he loses the bishop. We take on d2. If he takes d2, we take, and we will push d4, pretty sure. We are fine, but not more than fine, I guess. Maybe a little bit more than fine. Maybe we can also start. So this I consider like maybe a bit better for me. So let's look for something even better. How about d4? Might be more interesting actually. If he goes knight f3, I take e3. If he wants to get the queens off, which he really wants, I can grab a pawn on f2 in the meantime. But after rook d8, he might spoil my structure. Also there, I might be a bit better, but not too much. If h6, he might take, knight f3, might be solid enough. Hard decision. I think I'm on the verge of being better, but it's not that clear to me how much and how. So, but I think I need to make a move. d4 looks pretty principled in my opinion. And I think the best way to bail out for him is to play knight f3, takes e3, queen d8, rook d8. Queen d8, pawn takes f2, and then after rook d8 spoil my structure as well. I'm a pawn up, but my structure would be damaged. Because if he takes, I think I have a lot of compensation and I might be massively better. Okay, bishop to e2, that's actually interesting. Maybe I have some target here, maybe I can do queen d5. But if he takes and I take g2, he has bishop f3, which is a bit annoying. If I take e3, he already has the e-file closed, but if he takes with the queen, I might have some rook e8, which is annoying anyway. Also, let me again check this one. Is this good now? He needs to take my queen, I take his. If he takes, I play rook d8, and then he can close because he can play e4. Still looking good, but I think I stay with the simple pawn takes e3. And if he takes on d8, I will grab first. Okay, he goes there, but now I think I got some initiative at least. If I take there, I will jump either with some knight if the bishop takes. And if he would have taken with the king, I would have had a check. I think I'm not worse at all here, even though he has a pair of bishops, because I can at any time take his pair of bishops, but maybe I can even play for more. Like this looks appealing, it threatens mate in one. And it's hard to imagine what he's gonna do. So I go for that. Knight b3 is a huge threat, and also rook c8, or the other rook, is on the way. So I actually think he's in trouble here. He might play something like b4, but if that's the only move, then it looks very suspicious in my opinion. Maybe rook c8 then, but if not b4, I don't see it, because bishop c4 he doesn't want to play, because I play rook c8 and I threaten the bishop and I renew the threat of mating. So let's look into this b4 move. Rook c8 check, king goes to, yes, I think I should play it fast. King goes to b2, and I at least have this check, and then he needs to go, wow, that's actually already game over. Didn't see that from afar, but if I go there, he needs to go to a1, because if b1, I just pick up this bishop, because it's a discovered check, but now I also have this winning attack. He goes there, and I will even checkmate him quickly. That's nice. So this opening advantage, this lead in development was too huge, and he had a pair of bishops, but it was not enough. The activity was more important, and the key move, I think, was taking this isolated pawn and playing with it, because the dynamics were just in our favor. So I hope you enjoyed this game. Really, thanks for watching, and if you want to see more content like this, give a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate that. See you next time.